here, and today I want to share with you a layout made with older Mintay Papers collections. And I am combining Botany collection, which you are seeing right now. It's an add-on book for this collection. And it has some extra pattern, but also a few pages with elements for fussy cutting, which I'm doing right now. So I fussy cutted some of the elements from this book, and I will be also cutting out some of the elements from paper number. It's like an I don't remember the number, sorry, but in an extra pattern with elements for fussy cutting. And I will be using this paper from Country Fair collection as a layout base, along with some of the hexagons cut out from paper from Urban Jungle collection. So this one is one of my favorite because of the wonderful color combination, and I really love all the wooden texture that are added to this line. And this paper is my fave for sure. I was using it in the previous projects quite often. And I'm also adding this wooden frame. It's from the paper number 6 from Country Fair collection. I will be using the frame on the page along with the pictures and stuff. So with all the elements cut out, I am ready to start working on my page, and I will be using those two pictures of my lovely daughter, and I'm backing them with some pieces of cardstock to add a little bit of dimension. Of course, you can replace it with foam squares or fan foam sheets, whatever you like to add dimension. Just remember it cannot be too heavy because otherwise elements can fall out and glued off from the page with time. So I am gluing some of the pictures and flat. The first one and the second picture will be glued with a layer of cardboard. Um, And now with my pictures on, I am ready to embellish. And now you may be surprised. Well, pictures, and where are the layers under the pictures? So I work this way that I do not glue down the pictures entirely. I always leave some margin around them so I can tuck things underneath. And this way I can start with pictures and keep adding elements even though I know some of them will be like a bottom layer. Of course, sometimes I build papers first if I want to add more layers of paper, but in this case I was sure I wanted to keep the original background in the most visible way, so I only added some embellishments like die cuts here and there without adding extra pattern papers. So as you can see, I am easily able to tag things beneath the pictures, and if something is too big, I just cut out a piece like I did with the flower clusters, and I'm arranging anything around the pictures. So some of the elements come from the add-on book, some are cut out from this extra sheet of paper. I think it's paper number 11, what I'm thinking right now. And if you don't like fussy cutting, as I do, you can reach for die cuts. Most of the Mintay paper collections released last year and this year has some extra die cuts, and you can purchase them. They are laser cutted, so they are very, very precise, and they can spare you hours of fussy cutting. So if you don't like fussy cutting, look for die cuts. For both of those collections, there are die cuts available, so you can reach out for them instead of fussy cutting. I just like cutting elements. It's very therapeutic for me. I like watching Netflix or YouTube or whatever and just sit with the scissors and a bowl in my hands, well, on my laps. So those plastic bowls you see, plates maybe on my desk. This is what I use when I go to living room to spend time with my family, but I want to cut out some elements. So I just prepare bigger clusters of things for fussy cutting, put them in one bowl, and then I'm fussy cutting to the bowl. So it's a place for leftovers, and putting elements that are already cut out into the second bowl. So I just take two bowls with me. As you can see, I am building layers on my page using just the elements I have on my plates, and I'm starting with bigger ones and moving to the smaller ones. If you do not glue everything to the very edge, you can always add something beneath or something on top, so it's always an easy job to just add something extra. And as I mentioned before, if it doesn't fit exactly, just trim it to this weird shape with scissors, and no one will know that it's not a full element hiding behind the photo. No one will x-ray your layout. So it's not cheating. It's like getting the job done. I'm also adding smaller and smaller elements on top, like those butterflies, and I wanted to add those hexagons in some areas, three of them, because, visual triangle rule. It's unwritten rule, but we know it's there. So if you add things, add it in uneven numbers. So 1, 3, 5. I usually add three of things. As you can see, I built it a triangle here, visual triangle, one flower cluster above the pictures, one on the left and one on the right. So it's it's an instinct. It's never like this that I sit and plan, okay, triangle, remember about the triangle. It's like my hands moving this way and my eye moving this way. So whenever I start making a composition or a page or an album, it's like, something imprinted in the brain. So I'm almost done with embellishing and creating layers, and now it's time for what? I don't remember. Oh, I thought the side of the layout was a little bit empty, so I wanted to add another frame, cut it out from sheet number 6, and just add it on the sides. So I will have an anchor for some smaller composition on the left, and I'm just gluing it down, and I will trim the excess that is peeking behind the edge of the layout. Sorry, I was eating strawberries and juice went in the wrong way, and I'm just coughing and all the time. So I'm just adding some flowers and leaves because my frame gave me, as I mentioned, this anchor point, so the flowers will not float in the air. They will be grounded in some way. I don't know, it's also kind of an unwritten rule in my mind that I try to incorporate without thinking, that I need to have like a grounding element for the composition. So I'm cutting out those leaves from one of the flower clusters to add to those flowers I picked for the frame, because every flower need a leaf for a balance and a touch of green. I don't know. Another unwritten rule. I know I'm crazy with all those unwritten rules, but I don't know, this is something I felt I needed to add. So I'm just using a piece of a flower cluster, and again, it's maybe a revelation for you. You can do that. You can cut elements in smaller pieces, even though you have like a flower cluster, but you need only a leaf or one flower from it. Cut it into smaller pieces. No one will know, no one will come, and there is no scrappy police that will come and punish you for doing so. I will be adding title to this page, and I'm using, those are the Chippies Monograms Chippies from the Mintay Papers, and they are cut in chipboard, so I'm coloring them with candied apple distress oxide ink, so they will have this nice red color. And of course you can color chipboard. It's easy customizable. Sorry, I don't know how to pronounce this word. You can easily customize it to your need. adding inking like I did, and inking is great because it will not water down the chipboard, it will not make it split into layers, so this is a great way. Also, coloring chipboard with alcohol markers will be a great solution to add color and customization. You can, of course, use paints, acrylic paints, and other paints, but every inch of moisture will make your chipboard be a little bit plastic. I don't know how to say it, no plastic. You can easily bend it, and it will bend if it's too wet. So inking and alcohol markers are the best way to add color without adding moisture. Our Creativa paints, well, Mintay Creativa paints are also great because they are chalk paints. They do not soak into the paper. My title contains of two words, so I have a beauty and I'm adding word natural with a smaller. Those are the puffy stickers from my stash. I think they are from Pink Fresh Studio or something, maybe not, but I have them for ages, and green isn't the most popular color I am using, so I may have them for years. So it will be a natural beauty, which my daughter is. She's beautiful, she's smart, she's all the things that you would want from a daughter. And I will be finishing my page by adding some splatters here and there, but first covering the pictures because otherwise they will be ruined. And I'm using the red mist. It's like an old um, Heidi Swap mist from Color Shine line. I still have them in my stash, and I'm still reaching out for them often for splattering. So this is the finished page. You can see all the details here. It was fast and easy process with a lot of fussy cutting, and I hope you like this page. Don't forget to subscribe to never miss any layout or other project from me. And here you can see some other videos you may like. Thank you so much for spending your time with me, and see you soon on some other video. Bye!